Oakley. And at center at 7 feet from Georgetown, number 33, co-captain Patrick Ewing. The head trainer is Mike Stalker. The assistant trainer, Tim Walsh. Assistant coaches, Tick Carter and Jeff Van Gundy. And the head coach of the Knicks, Pat Riley.
Well, Pat Riley receiving much attention following the 107-91 loss in Charlotte on Sunday afternoon. The attention because of his reaction. He said, we're just not a very good team. I have no explanation for it, other than I don't think we're making a maximum sustained, consistent effort. Somewhere I have failed miserably, said Pat Riley.
A very dramatic statement from Pat Riley after a very dramatic, poor performance by his team. And he's trying everything he can do to shake this team out of its woes, including, much to the surprise of the players, giving them the day off yesterday after that disappointing performance. He's reaching down, Marv.
Yes, the Knicks did not practice yesterday. Some players came on their own to work out. It wasn't quite a trip to Reno, but it was a bit of a change-up on the part of Pat Riley in calling practice off. He spent most of the day behind closed doors with his assistants.
Well, as we said in the open, Marv, the Atlanta Hawks have had the schedule work against them in facing the Knicks the second time now after facing the Bulls the night before and getting a thrashing. The schedule is kind to the Knicks. The Hawks are playing their 4th game in 5 nights, and Pat Riley and the Knicks fans here are expecting the very best of this team, the Knicks team.
The officials, Ed T. Rush, Paul Mahalik, and Nolan Fine. Kevin Willis on the opening tip against Patrick Ewing, and then Willis stepped away from the circle. Now we're set. They were having some difficulty with the 24-second clock on top of the Knicks basket, but apparently it is now operating. There was the thought it might not in the first half. Here's Davis for 3. Rebound Oakley. And it's handled now by Willis. The Atlanta Hawks last night lost in Chicago 87-70. Mookie Blaylock rejected by Patrick Ewing. The 70 points, a season low for the Hawks. Here's Bonner. And Oakley keeps it alive. We're just underway at Madison Square Garden. Patrick Ewing.
Ewing does not have to fear John Concact blocking his shots or stopping him at all. Also, Marv, a great sign for the Knicks when Ewing responds as he did on the initial attempt at the basket when he sent that shot back of the Hawks.
Blaylock for 3. So both clubs having their difficulties, knocking one down at the start. Minute 10 gone by. Ewing for Oakley. The Knicks 2, the Hawks nothing.
Good move by Ewing, not forcing the shots up.
For the Hawks, it's their 4th game in 5 nights. Chant of defense very early. Manning fouled by Bonner. Danny Manning with several inches in that matchup against Anthony Bonner.
Well, Manning at 6'10" has the good position, puts the hand up, signaling, I want that ball. Bonner did the damage with his left hand.
Danny Manning playing his first game at the Garden as a member of the Hawks. Here's Altman. Willis with the tip. And the game is tied at 2.
You cannot allow the NBA's 3rd leading rebounder to stand alone under the basket without someone banging on him, challenging him for position.
Ewing looking to put the move on Concact. And he draws the foul. So Concact picks it up. Last night against the Bulls, Lenny Wilkins started Wayne Farrell. John Concact came off the bench. He had Farrell, Willis, and Manning on the front line.
Farrell is a very fine scorer, although it didn't happen last night. He only played 18 minutes, 1 for 3 from the field, 3 points, 1 rebound, so that didn't last long. But this team is not going to win a championship, Marv, in my opinion, or even challenge with John Contact as the starting center. It's just not going to happen.
Are you saying that you must have a superstar at center?
No, just a more effective center.
So what you're saying is that the Hawks are limited. Manning able to hit.
As far as championship wishes, yes.
And the Knicks and the Hawks are tied at 4. Manning knocked it away.
But not just because of that position. The depth isn't adequate.
All right, here's Manning. And remember, at the start of the season, after the Hawks were able to straighten things out, they got off actually to a bad start because of the schedule, which is very tough. Oakley, with his second field goal. Atlanta opened the season 4 losses the first 5 games. The schedule, though, at Chicago, at Utah, at Portland, and Seattle was not a promising way for Lenny Wilkens to get things going, but they turned it around, and one of the reasons was the bench playing very well at the start, but as you mentioned, it has not been the case as of late.
Well, they have had, I mean, just to put it in the proper perspective, the Atlanta Hawks have had a sensational season today. No question about that.
Harper tried the 3, and Willis with the rebound. This is a Hawk club that was only 4 over 500 last season. Contact coming up short. They were 4th in the Central Division, a game behind Charlotte. Here's Bonner all the way.
There's John Contact. He was there. He was ready for Bonner. And the best thing he did was inbound the basketball for the Hawks after Bonner went right by him.
22nd timeout called by Atlanta. The Knicks 8, the Hawks 4.
Well, the Knicks picking it up from Charlotte. When Charlotte ran the Knicks hard, the Knicks do the same thing. They come down and, you know, one of the things, to take another look at Bonner here, Contact is there. Little swipe. I mean, that has to make Lenny Wilkens very unhappy to see that half-hearted attempt to stop Bonner. Contact is a 7-foot man. He's out there to become an intimidator, create a problem for the offensive team. And one of the things, I don't know if all coaches feel this way, Marv, but when you see a player victimized as Contact has been in the first few minutes, you like to see some pain and disappointment on his face when it happens to him. When Oakley hits a jumper over him, as happened, or now when Bonner drives by him. When a guy just turns around with the same expression and runs up court, it just kind of signals that he's not too bothered by that.
I just think he's the type of guy who just keeps it within. You want to see a little
emotion.
All right.
Disappointment.
Here's Manning off the recovery, and he drew the foul. He was pushed.
Doesn't mean I'm right, just a preference.
Foul on Bonner. That is his second. And Danny Manning will go to the line.
Excuse me, Mark. Danny's been here now for 26 games with the Hawks. They have played very well with him, 18-8. He missed 3 games because of the right elbow. You see him wearing a guard on the arm with an injury, but they're doing fine with him. Although most people feel, I think, in Atlanta that they'd be doing even better with Dominique, the NBA's 4th leading scorer now for the LA Clippers.
It's the Knicks 8 and the Hawks 6. 4 minutes have gone by. Anthony Mason has come on for Anthony Bonner. Oakley, Charles Oakley, off to the good start. 3 of 4 for 6 points, and the Knicks lead 10-6. Manning, air ball handled by Ewing, and the crowd reacts to the shot by Manning. Davis getting it down low, and then it's returned. Oakley set the pick. Nice move by Hubert Davis.
Hawks had a big problem in Chicago last night at the opening of the game with their shooting. They shot 18% from the field in the first quarter.
Wild jump hook by Willis. It's usually an effective shot for Kevin Willis. Ewing. Yes. The Knicks lead 12-6. Mookie Blaylock looking over at Coach Lenny Wilkins. He thought that Len wanted a timeout. He's calling a play. And again, the chant of defense.
Hawks trying to go to the 6'8 Augman, guarded by 6'4 Hubert Davis, but Davis fought him off well.
Bad shot. Blaylock forced it, trying to set it up for himself. Hopper. Rebound, Ewing. Yes. Now the Knicks in the midst of a good spurt. 14-6 lead. And the Hawks will talk it over. A 10-2 run by the Knicks.
You drink and know when to say when. A reminder from Budweiser. Well, we saw moments ago the Hawks trying to go to the height advantage they have with Stacey Augman at 6'8", guarded by the smaller Hubert Davis, who's been criticized for his defense lately. But Hubert fights him hard, gets in front of him, makes that ball go away from Augman as a target, and the Hawks take a bad shot.
And the Hawk shooting has been off 2 of 11. John, I guess that's about 18%.
That's the number that haunted them last night in Chicago in the first quarter.
While the Knicks are 6 of 13. The Knicks, though, with a 10-2 run going. That will not count. The foul before the shot. Davis called on the foul. And for the Knicks, it is their 3rd team foul. Halfway through the first quarter, Knicks 14 and Atlanta 6. Here's Augman. And he was hit. He was blocked. Stacey Augman on the drive. And he ran into Patrick Ewing, who, according to the official, moved. Ewing was trying to pick up a charge. Willis now posting up against Ewing. Blaylock lost the dribble. Mookie Blaylock has had a superb season in his 6th year out of Oklahoma. He has brought leadership and stability to the Hawks. Coming over from the New Jersey Nets, spent 3 years with the Nets. This is 2nd with Atlanta. And Hopper draws the foul. It's on Blaylock, his first.
Marv, there's a feeling that in many ways close Hawks observers felt that Mookie Blaylock became the heart and soul of this team before Dominique Wilkins left, for the many things he brings to this club, character-wise, defense, and unselfishness.
Ewing is fouled. Manning came over to help. Manning called for his first. Ewing will go to the line. Knicks have done it off the boards here in the early going. Hawks having difficulty locating good shots. And the Knicks now lead 15-6. Patrick Ewing shooting only 39% his last 7 games. Knicks shooting has gone down over the last 7-8 games. And of course the opposition been able to score, in contrast to what took place during that 15-game win streak. Knicks not stopping people the way they did.
That is the biggest criticism from their coach, Pat Riley, which is a reflection of their lack of enthusiasm of late on defense.
Another turnover. Blaylock lost the dribble. Ewing out to set the pick for Davis. Blaylock with the hesitation dribble. Oh, what a move by Mookie Blaylock.
That gives you an idea how tough the Hawks are when they can run, because Kevin Willis was running right with Blaylock.
Knicks lead 15-8. Ewing. Pretty left-hand running hook by Patrick Ewing.
Once in a while, Patrick presents that left hand, and it is a beauty when he does it. The only question is, why doesn't he do it more?
Here's Augman off the spin. The Knicks have a 17-8 lead with 4.5 remaining. First quarter. Charles Oakley not able to hit. Back comes Augman. Blaylock. Oakley with the steal. Harper able to keep the dribble alive. Mason decided to hold up. Knicks reset.
See Blaylock denying Harper. He wouldn't let Harper turn to go to the hoop.
Another offensive rebound for Charles Oakley. And now Anthony Mason squeezing his way. And lost it to Manning. Augman on the run. Augman delivers to Blaylock. Knicks with a good recovery. Hawks had a fast break going. Blaylock beating Oakley. Ewing changed that shot. The Knicks 17, Atlanta 8, and the Knicks call for time with 3:27 remaining first quarter.
1 or Ticketmaster for current show and ticket exchange or refund information. Oh, on the Hubert Davis miss, Mookie Blaylock right up the middle of the floor where the ball handler wants to be so he can make decisions left or right. He decides, because Derek Harper allows him, to keep going to the basket. Beautiful drive by Blaylock.
Meanwhile, Mookie has turned it over twice in this first quarter. 3 times in this first quarter. Averages only 2.4 turnovers per game, and that has contributed to this Knick lead. Here's Ewing, and he'll head back to the line. Again, it's on Manning. Manning trying to help out. That's the way he picked up his first foul. That is his second.
He's looking for an official to talk to, and he's been ignored by all 3. Finally gets a shot with Paul Mahalik, and he just can't understand why that foul was called on him.
Ewing is 3 of 4 from the line. He's off to the good start. 9 points, 6 rebounds.
Well, here's the move by Ewing. Contact hits him. Manning with a swipe. Hard to tell in replay if he got the wrist, but that's the way the officials saw it. Meanwhile, every time it seems Ewing has gotten the ball, something is happening. He's either drawing a foul or something positive is happening for him.
And a loose ball foul called against the Knicks. Puts the Knicks over the limit. It is on Oakley. That's Adam Keefe checking in for the first time. Adam Keefe in his second year out of Stanford, replacing Danny Manning, who sits down with 4 points and 2 personal fouls. Adam Keefe, a lottery pick last year, 10th player taken in the draft. So Kevin Willis hitting the first of 2.
Kevin Willis, like Ewing, has been dominant against the Knicks this year. 23 points a game average, but the big one was the last game in Atlanta. 31 points, 11 rebounds against the Knicks.
And the Knicks have done it off the boards this evening. Greg Anthony has come on, replacing Derek Harper. Ewing triple team. Here's Davis for 3. Hubert Davis now 0 for 4. The Knicks lead 17-10. Enos Watley is also checked in for the first time. He's handling the ball. Koncak open. Rebounded by Willis.
Willis, a 7-footer. Very good spring as well.
Willis, looks like Ewing got a piece of it. 2:25 remaining in this first quarter. Mason. Neither club shooting well.
The Hawks are 20% from the field. The Knicks at 37%.
Hawks are 3 for 16. And the Knicks 7 of 20. Augman. It will count. It's a goaltend. So Stacey Augman receives credit for the field goal.
Well, that helps the field goal percentage. Augman with Ewing coming in, sending that shot away. The officials call it a goaltend. That shot was on the way down in the eye of the official.
The Knick lead is now 5. Just under 2 minutes to go first quarter. Anthony working against Watley. Davis for three.
Well, he's getting closer, Marv.
And last touch by Oakley. Yes, Hubert missing all 5 of his shot attempts. 3 have come from downtown. That last one rimmed out. And Hubert Davis will sit down. Craig Elo checking in for the first time. Davis replaced by Rolando Blackman.
Both coaches going for some more offense desperately. Knicks certainly hoping that Rolando Blackman can show the touch he has shown in recent games, and Craig Elo, historically a fine shooter, although he has been bothered by back problems which have affected his shooting.
Yes, the three-point shot has not been successful. Last 21 games, only 9 of 51 for Elo from downtown. And the Hawks and Knicks having a very poor shooting first quarter. Watley, the play by Ewing to alter that shot. Oakley. Loose ball foul is called as Oakley tried to protect it against Concat. And the foul called on Concat.
Oakley turning around to show those elbows to Concat. That made him back up a bit, but in pursuit of that ball, there is a foul by Concat.
And that puts the Hawks over the limit for Concat, his second foul. 2 apiece on Concat and Manning. Manning sitting down. Charles Oakley to the line for the first time. A minute 23 remaining in the first quarter.
Charles, like his teammates, coming off a quiet game on Sunday against Charlotte. Actually, these are numbers that in the past would have been kind of symbolic of Charles. 8 points, 10 rebounds, not bad. 32 minutes of play, but not like the output of Charles Oakley when he's playing as he has been on the average this season. It was a quiet one for him in Charlotte.
Knicks with a 19-12 lead on the Hawks. After tonight, the Hawks with only 2 games remaining in the regular season. Thursday they play in Miami, and then Saturday home for Orlando. Knicks have 3 left following tonight. Home for Philly. Friday they'll be in Milwaukee, and then Sunday afternoon in Chicago. Mason called for the foul. This has been a slow-moving, a plodding first quarter. A host of fouls have been called. Several turnovers. Neither club shooting well.
Mention the Hawks playing Miami, Marv. Naturally, all these games this week have a very dramatic effect on the outcome next Sunday, but the Hawks have beaten Miami 3 for 3 this year. And they've beaten Orlando twice, while Orlando has beaten Atlanta once. So the Hawks have done well against their remaining opponents of the season.
Although at this time, it's really tough to figure when you look back, unless there's an obvious weak club. Well, even in the case of Philadelphia, they beat the Knicks last time out at the Spectrum about 10 days ago. Nice pass from Ewing. Oakley giving the Knicks a 21-13 advantage.
Patrick is always on the trail of Charles Oakley when there's a cutting situation that comes up.
Off the turnover, Anthony moves it back. Anthony for 3. Greg Anthony shooting only around 40% the last 3 games, but he has had success from three-point land. And the Knicks now lead 24-13. Shot clock at 8. 20 seconds left in the quarter. Contact barely caught the rim. Blackman around Elo. Mason fires it away. That was intended for Oakley, but thrown away by Mason. And the Hawks get it back with 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Knicks lead 24-13. Down to 5 seconds. Watley for Concat. After 1, the Knicks 24, the Hawks 13. Reminder tomorrow at 7. It'll be the Yanks and the Seattle Mariners right here on the MSG network. John, I want to show you some tough moments for our cameraman Dave Chesney, situated back behind the Knick basket. This is the final seconds, and the time had run out in the first quarter. Oakley fires the ball, and it kind of upset our cameraman. Landed in his lap, leading to the strange shots. Dave hanging in.
Dangerous profession.
All right, second quarter underway, and the Knicks with a 24-13 lead. Andrew Lang has come on. He's handling the ball against Charles Oakley. Goes to the hook. Very nice.
This is not good news for the Knicks now. This big fellow is very strong. The game will get more physical now. First quarter shooting, the Hawks at 20%. The Knicks at 39%.
Nice move by Ewing, throwing the fake at Lang. Atlanta 4 of 20 from the field, and one was a goaltend. And the Knicks 9 of 23. Here's Lang going wild, inside, outside. Andrew Lang, not noted for his offense, hitting on his first two. Andrew Lang, in his 6th year out of Arkansas, signed as an unrestricted free agent from the 76ers. Spent the early part of his career as a member of the Phoenix Suns. Knicks lead 26-17. Here's Blackman. That was a 3-point attempt. So Lenny Wilkins has a front line now of Lang, Keefe, and Willis. Elo and Watley at the guard. Kevin Willis. That is his favorite spot for the jump hook.
Patrick Ewing didn't even challenge it, figuring the percentages would work against Willis, but as you say, it is his favorite shot. Now, Ewing is not going to find it as easy to operate against Lang. So it's important that the Knicks get some perimeter shooting, which hasn't arrived yet.
The Knicks lead by 7. We're just getting started in the second quarter. Herb Williams getting set to check in over at the scorer's table, who come on for Patrick Ewing. Willis. Nice lead thrown by Elo.
Now Ewing fronted Willis. The good pass came. Oakley got there, but too late.
6-0 run by the Hawks. Oakley with a blind pass. Oakley turned it over. Here's Elo, fouled by Blackman. The basket counts, and the foul. And now here's Herb Williams for Patrick Ewing.
Well, a shovel pass by Oakley. Sloppy. He was in position to draw the foul and get a shot up himself. And at the other end, Craig Elo at 6'7", forcing his way in and making that shot. Now we'll go to the foul line. And thanks to Andrew Lang's 2 quick hoops and this move by Elo, the Hawks are right back in this thing.
Herb Williams on the floor for the first time, along with Charles Smith. So the Knicks now with a front line of Smith, Mason, and Williams. 22nd timeout is taken by the Knicks with 9:36 to go in this first half.
Well, Pat Riley, after that game in Charlotte the other day, said, I want to go and sit in a dark room by myself and think this thing out. So it will be interesting to see how he moves his personnel in and out of this game. Now with Ewing out, we see Charles Smith come in, an opportunity for him.
9-0 run, as you saw, by Atlanta. Look at the remaining schedule for the Knicks. Thursday, the home game against the 76ers. They are 2-2 this year against Philly. Friday at Milwaukee, they've won all 3 meetings against the Bucks, and then Sunday in Chicago. The Atlanta Hawks playing Thursday in Miami. Saturday home for Orlando. And the Chicago Bulls Friday home for Boston. Then they have the finale, in fact, the last regular season game for the Bulls at Chicago Stadium as they move across the street to the United Center next year. Well, the Hawks have hit all 5 of their field goal attempts here in the second quarter, looking to turn it from the bad shooting first quarter. And the Hawk defense has tightened up. Smith had it knocked away. It'll be Nick Ball with 7 on the 24.
Hard to believe that Pat Riley wants Charles Smith dribbling at the top of the circle, setting up plays.
Mason can't find anyone. Anthony. Shot clock at 5. Anthony putting the move on Watley. And recovered by Anthony. Knicks get a new 24. Anthony for 3. Rebounded by Willis. Watley guns it down for Elo. Puts the move on. And again he draws the foul. Well, Craig Elo moments ago did it from the right side. Now from the left. And he was blocked by Blackman.
Well, the Knicks shooting poorly. That ignites fast break opportunities for Atlanta, and off they go. No dribbling, just passing that ball. That ball went the length of the court with only one dribble.
We got one. Let it go. Right.
You mentioned that Craig Elo has not been shooting well as of late. Well, against the Knicks, only 10 of 29 this season. Craig Elo off to the good start here. 5 points contributing to that 11-0 Atlanta run. And the game is tied at 26. Blackman.
Orlando missing badly here in the first half.
Elo for 3. And Smith rebounds. Blackman. That was a 3-point attempt. And the Knicks shooting has been horrendous. For the game, they're 10 for 30. They did not shoot well in the first quarter. 9 of 23 here in the second. 1 for 7 from the floor.
And because of the Hawks turnaround, they're both shooting at 36%. The Hawks have come a long way.
Here's Lang with the jump hook. Smith putting the move on Keefe and foul. Nice move by Charles Smith, going right at Adam Keefe. That will send Smith to the line.
Always dangerous giving a big man the ball when he has to do some dribbling, as Mason did to Smith, but Charles handled it well. Mason pushing it up. Charles Smith running. Nice little move inside, drawing the foul.
Danny Manning checking back in. He's playing with 2 fouls. Mookie Blaylock will come on in a moment. Charles Smith, a 72% free throw shooter. Knicks lead by 1. Here comes Blaylock for Watley. Enos Watley, a guy who has been with 7 different teams in 7 NBA seasons. It's his second go-around with Atlanta. He was a member of the Hawks back in '88-'89.
Well, this is an opportunity now for Charles Smith to step it up. He feels as though he has voiced this recently, that he has not been used properly. There's a subtle complaint that he's not getting plays called for him. And I have a feeling that Pat Riley's issuing him a challenge by giving him some good playing time to see what Charles can do, make him feel more comfortable, maybe call some plays for him, but he's certainly going to get the opportunity with the team in the doldrums they've been in. And at the foul line,
not able to take advantage. He got the extra free throw because one of the Hawks stepped in too quickly, so he went 1 of 3 from the line. Knicks lead 27-26. Here's Lang. Andrew Lang, a little offensively out of control here after hitting the first 2.
He did have a 20-point game 2 games ago against the Sixers.
Comes in, though, averaging about 6 per game. Now Smith posting up Manning. Elo accelerates. Manning shooting. The Hawks lead 28-27. Well, the Hawks with 13 points in the first quarter. They already have 15 here in the second quarter. Call against Smith. Offensive foul.
Charles gets the ball, makes up his mind, he's going to go. Well played by Danny Manning, who read that move.
Greg Anthony sitting down. Hubert Davis is back. Derek Hopper has come on. Hopper defending against Blaylock. Patrick Ewing will check back in a moment. Adam Keefe. That did not look good. Kind of a slow motion move.
Herb Williams helped out Charles Smith on that play.
And it's deflected out. Last touch by Lang. Timeout is called by the Knicks. 6:45 remaining in the half. In terms of playing the rest of the way.
Enthusiastically awaiting his return.
And lead by 1 point. Ewing was fouled. He was hacked. Keefe looking to help out. Picked it up. And Patrick Ewing will go to the line. That's the second committed by Keefe.
Well, the Knicks on their home court have got to shoot the ball better than they are here in the first half. I mean, it's going to be a very long evening unless that perimeter shooting starts coming through and that they don't have to feed off this man all night at the foul line. Knicks are 1 for 8 now in the second quarter.
Charles Oakley back, replacing Anthony Mason. The Knicks are in a situation, if they win the final 4 games of the regular season, they will finish first no matter what Atlanta and Chicago do. The reason is because if they win all 4, it would mean victories over Atlanta and Chicago. And the Hawks can finish only first or third in the Eastern Conference overall standings. Foul is called. Smith called for his second. 6:25 remaining in this first half. Marv Albert with John Andres, Al Troutward, Walt Clyde Frazier. Knicks lead 29-28. Both clubs have had their shooting problems, although the Hawks have picked it up here in the second quarter. Manning, Ewing with the rebound. Outlets Oakley, chased by Blaylock, gives it up to Smith. And Charles Oakley landed over the press table. Keefe blocked by Smith. Here's Smith. Well, that would have been Charles Smith's little portion on the Knick highlight reel for next season. Right here. Had he hit that shot.
Right, but it didn't happen.
Still a couple of good plays by Charles. Knicks now lead by 3. Illegal defense called against the Knicks for the first time.
Well, this is where the bench play comes into focus because the Knicks with the ability to rest Ewing and Oakley already and have Smith out there. Now the Knicks have a powerful front line. Ewing, Oakley, Charles Smith.
And as you can see, the Knick backcourt has not done it offensively. Up front, 10 of 19 with a combination of Oakley and Ewing. But you look in the backcourt, Davis 0 for 6, Hopper 0 for 2. Anthony 1 for 3, hit from downtown. Blackman is 0 for 4. Not good, John, from the guard point of view. Knicks by 3, 5:20 to go. First half. Blaylock trying to give it up. And Mookie has turned it over again. He had nowhere to go. The Knicks collapsing on Blaylock as he tried to drive the middle. Pat Riley now has Hopper and Davis at the guards. Ewing with Oakley and Smith up front. Smith way off. Back comes Elo. Greg Elo moving the Hawks within 1.
Blaylock not playing in character. 1 assist and 4 turnovers already. Normally a very solid player.
Oakley's pass off the mark. Here is Elo for Manning. Manning on the tip. And again, Danny Manning hanging in, getting a third crack at it.
The irony of it is the Knicks, known as a physical team, refuse to block out. It just doesn't make sense. If they're willing to bang bodies, in most situations, they should look to keep people away from their own offensive boards. They didn't do it on that play.
Offensive foul on Davis. Trying to set a pick. Anthony Bonner for Charles Smith, who hears the applause. And Adam Keefe departs. Kevin Willis is back. We approach 4 minutes remaining in the first half. And the Hawks lead by 1. Willis stripped and then kicked it out.
He tried to do too much on that move. He wanted to get into the jump hook territory, and Ewing wouldn't allow that.
Oakley works off the screen. Yes. 12 points for Oakley. For the most part from the outside, and the Knicks lead by 1.
Kind of ironic, Charles Oakley, the best Knicks perimeter shooting man in the first half.
Elo got the step. Bonner has it slapped away by Elo. It will be Nick Ball. The Knicks trying to turn things around. They have lost 5 of the last 8. They come off the poor performance in Charlotte on Sunday. The Knicks did not practice yesterday. Some players came on their own. Pat Riley avoiding talking to the media today. Most of the players also not looking to share their comments. This after the strong statements made by Pat Riley following the game in Charlotte.
Charles Oakley throwing some very difficult to handle passes to his teammates.
And Blaylock moves across against Harper. Lang, Manning, Willis up front. Bonner trying to front Manning. Oh, the help from Oakley. He came up with the rejection and the ball.
A sensational play by Oakley.
Ewing. Yes. The Knicks lead 35-32. Good play by Bonner. He created the problem for Manning, but Manning called for time and was able to come up with the save. 2:40 to go, first half, and the Knicks lead by 3.
And great teamwork moment. Well, in this lackluster first half, efficiency-wise, the Knicks had a beautiful play with a Ewing rebound. Long pass to Oakley, who couldn't save it for himself, so he gave it up to Charles Smith. And visited with the fans along the way. Canon Technology and MCS Service. One is a great reason to buy the other.
It will be Atlanta ball as we resume. Danny Manning with the save, and he called the timeout. 16 on the 24. 2:40 to go, first half, and the Knicks lead 35-32. Blaylock, who has had a very difficult first half. Stacey Augmon backing his way. Blaylock. Mookie Blaylock. So for Mookie, it's his second field goal. Only 2 of 6 from the field, and the Knicks now lead 35-34. Bonner was wide open. Lang got a piece of it.
Bad judgment by Bonner trying to dunk over a 6'11" man.
Oh, take another step. Andrew Lang for a traveling violation. Took about, what, 5-6 down on it? Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's why you don't give the big man the ball too far from the basket.
Hopper for 3. Yes. Well, a rare successful shot for the Knicks backcourt in this first half. And they now lead 38-34. Willis. Well, he has the jump hook down after the trouble at the start. Knicks lead 38-36. Ewing. Patrick Ewing. Back tap handled by Dave. Oh, Blaylock saw it coming. Blaylock on the steal. Augmon. Will it count? Yes, it will. And the foul. Stacey Augmon. Fouled by Hubert Davis.
It started with defense. Mookie Blaylock read that pass situation. He's the third best in the NBA at stealing the basketball, and his backcourt teammate Stacey Augmon finishes it. They're a dynamite backcourt. In fact, this team is second in the NBA in steals because of the combination of Blaylock and Augmon.
Third foul on Davis, replaced by Blackman. Hawks lead by 1. 1:15 remaining in the first half. Ewing. The fourth shot by Ewing.
What was that? Was that a second shot attempt over his shoulder? That was pretty wild attempt by Patrick.
Manning. A rush shot by Manning. There's Hopper. And he is trying to hand it off to Bonner. Miscommunication there between the two. There are the Hawks trying to catch the Knicks napping in the backcourt. Knicks did recover. Manning given a lot of room, and he is fouled. What's going on here? A lot of sloppy stuff at both ends. Foul committed by Blackman.
There have been occasions lately, Marv, where Lenny Wilkins has allowed the very mobile Danny Manning, who we're looking at, to bring the ball up court and play the role of the point guard. He handles the ball very well. And as I said, there have been occasions lately where they've done that for periods of a game where Manning will come down, beat his man with his mobility, and then set up his teammates.
Manning is an excellent passer. Only a 67% free throw shooter. 2 of 3 from the line tonight.
Well, Pat Riley complained about his team effort-wise and concentration-wise in Charlotte. Now tonight, the effort is there, but the execution is as poor as it's been.
14 of 41 shooting. That is 34%. The Hawks only 36%. 15 for 42. 15 seconds left of the half. Hopper. Bonner gets to it. Down to 10 seconds. Down to 5, and Bonner calls for time. He had nowhere to go, so he took the timeout with 5 3/10 seconds remaining in this first half. We talked about Pat Riley being very upset after the loss in Charlotte. One of the things he said, I don't know, I've got to think about it. I've got to go home and go into a room in the dark to think about it in darkness somewhere. Mentioning that he has failed miserably, which may have been a bit of an overreaction by Pat, but he was upset and he tried to take much of the blame. But John, something you can relate to, because some of the folks here on the MSG staff inquired to me once again. They want to know whether you got dressed tonight again in the dark.
Actually, Marv, I think you're mistaking that for someone else.
No, I don't
not
think
myself.
so.
I'm dressed quite nicely tonight if you look closely. But Pat Riley went on to say a lot of other things too, like we can't play as well as we did 2 years ago when we lost to Chicago in 7, or we can't play as well as we did last year when we went to the Eastern Conference Finals and lost. He said because in both those situations it wasn't good enough. And for this team to think of championship, we've got to elevate our game. The guards have to play better. He singled out Charles Oakley and Patrick Ewing having to play better. Everybody has to lift it up, as well as himself, the coach. He said the coach has to coach better. But you know, only a man who's won 4 championships as a coach and who is as highly esteemed as this man is could be so self-critical and say it with confidence, because you know people are not going to criticize Pat Riley's coaching. They know he's done a terrific job with this team, and Pat knows it, and he wanted to deflect the attention from his players who have not been playing well.
And John, as you well know, tonight, starting at midnight, you can catch the replay of the Knicks and the Hawks on Knicks Rewind right here on MSG. 5 seconds to go. Ewing. That was deflected short. And that is the end of the first half. Not a good one for either club. The Hawks 40 and the Knicks 38. Bob Page coming up in a moment at the MSG Sports Desk, and we'll hear from Al and Clyde. Hawks by 2 at the half.
There are a lot of very
what I was going to say.
And it's surprising because of the ramifications of what's at stake here. Neither team has played with much pizzazz.
All right, let's take you through the highlights, what little there may have been to choose from. Brought to you by Minolta, makers of the new Freedom 105EX, only from the mind of Minolta. Every once in a while, Clyde, Patrick Ewing shows you a shot, and you say, why don't we see that more often?
Right. This time utilizing his quickness. He's 7 feet, Concact 7 feet, but Ewing quicker that time, the left-handed hook in the paint.
Charles Oakley played well in the first half. Here, the double team of Ewing allows him to get free.
He needs to do more of this, Al. When you're a double and triple team, you must find the open man. This time, Oakley, the recipient.
Kevin Willis so good when he's inside.
And ironically, Willis Reed, my former teammate, helped Willis perfect this hook shot. So Willis also a 7-footer. That time only 8 feet away. That was poor defense by Ewing.
And Danny Manning, a large part of the offense, but really, Clyde, he's got to learn not to take a few of those.
Yeah, Elo, a good pass here to Manning. So Manning 6'10", 235. Good persistence and perseverance this time on the tip end. So this has been a chronic problem for the Knicks as well during the losing streak, Al. Dribble penetration and transition, dishing and swishing by the opposition. So they've got to tighten up their defense.
But, you know, the funny thing is, at least from where I saw the game, the effort was there. I mean, Pat Riley could complain about commitment and effort and so forth, but it really looked as though the team was putting the effort. They just weren't getting the results.
Yes, at times the defense broke down, but the Hawks have an excuse for their dismal play. They played last night. So the Knicks have no excuse. They've got to come out and up the tempo.
That's right. The Hawks are coming off a game in which they held the Chicago Bulls to 87 points and lost by 17. Be good on the radio, Clyde. We'll be back with the second half in a moment.
They don't want nobody.
Presenting him, that's Scott Bauer, Director of Mobile Telecommunications for IBM, with the Coach of the Month award. Pat Riley will also be providing $1,000 to the Pediatric AIDS Foundation as a result of the award. The Knicks, of course, were for the first time perfect in a month, 15-0 in March. But how quickly things change. Here's the second half, Marvin John.
All right, far from perfect, though, in this first half. Look at the shooting. 36% for Atlanta, and they picked it up in the second quarter. And the Knicks 14 of 43, 33%. Hubert Davis, symbolic of the problems in the backcourt. He was 0 for 5. The Knicks did have the edge on the boards, 31-26. And in the assist column, the Knicks with 9 and the Hawks with 8. Mookie Blaylock had a rough first half. The Hawks with 8 turnovers. Mookie had 4 of the 8. And out of the Toyota matchup.
Shocking numbers here in the first half. Looking at Kevin Willis and Patrick Ewing. Ewing 5 out of 10, 9 rebounds. Pretty solid first half for Patrick. Kevin Willis on target for another double-double game. He leads his team in that category.
The Knicks shot only 5 of 20 from the field in the second quarter. Only 14 points for the Knicks in the second quarter. Atlanta had a 13-point first quarter. Hopper got a piece of it. Hawks 40 and the Knicks 38. Not the quality of play you would expect with this game being so significant.
Both teams are vying to be the best in the Eastern Conference, a position enjoyed by the Hawks coming in, but you'd never know it, as you say, Mark, from this play as Stacey Augmon gets things going.
Augmon with 7 points, and Atlanta leads by 4. Hopper and Davis in the backcourt. Ewing, Bonner, Oakley up front. The double team again pays off for Atlanta. Deflected to the backcourt by the Knicks. Willis. Kevin Willis. 5 of 8 from the field, 12 points. And Atlanta now leads by 6. It's their biggest lead of the game.
Marv, the Knicks backcourt has combined thus far for 2 for 16.
But up front, the Knicks continue to do it. Charles Oakley with a 6th bucket. He has 14 points. 6 of 8. Hawks 44-40 over the Knicks. Blaylock and Ewing lost it. Atlanta with a backcourt of Blaylock and Augman. Up front, Koncak, Manning, and Willis. Hopper knocked it away and deflected it out. Coming into tonight, Atlanta 55-24. And the Knicks at 54-24, half game back. Chicago also a half game back, 55-25. Bulls knocking off Chicago in convincing fashion last night, 87-70. Koncak is 0 for 5 from the field.
Just wonder what anybody's thinking with Koncak continuing to take long jump shots.
Davis. And Ewing missed on the follow. Foul's called on Ewing. Hubert Davis is now 0 for 6. Ewing called for his 2nd foul. Atlanta with the ball and a 4-point lead. Hopper nearly picked it off. Manning open. Danny Manning with 11. And Atlanta shooting well here at the start of the 3rd. They lead 46-40.
Last game here at the Garden, December 23rd, the Knicks starting backcourt had problems as well. Starks was 2 for 9. Greg Anthony was 4 for 17 in that game.
And Hubert Davis, after missing his first 6, finally hits. The lead picked off by Oakley. Knicks down by 4.
You tend to give credit to the fine defensive play of the Hawks when you look at that backcourt shooting so bad for the Knicks. But tonight, they're getting shots. They're getting open shots. Just haven't been making them.
Davis fouled. Took a hip check from John Koncak. So Hubert Davis go to the line. That's 3 on Koncak. Atlanta getting back into it after trailing by as many as 11. They had a 13-1 run in the 2nd quarter. Hubert Davis at the line for the first time.
You know, Pat Riley will continue to believe in Hubert Davis. He is such an excellent shooter despite his problems of the earlier part of this evening.
Hawks 46 and the Knicks 44. Blaylock calls out a play. Hopper knocks it away. Koncak able to retrieve it. Manning hit from behind. Foul on Oakley. That's the 2nd committed by Oakley. And Manning will go to the line. Danny Manning acquired him a deal for Dominique Wilkins. Spent 5.5 years with the Los Angeles Clippers. Last year, a breakthrough season. He averaged just under 23 per game. In his 6th year out of Kansas, Danny Manning gunning for his 13th point.
This is only his 2nd game against the Knicks this year. Dominique Wilkins played in the other 2 before the trade, naturally. Manning didn't hurt the Knicks badly in their other meeting in March. 13 points, 3 rebounds.
break. Nice pass from Blaylock. Willis was stopped.
Of course, Manning had 39 against the Knicks in an earlier meeting when he was with the Clippers.
Ewing bringing the Knicks within one. Yes, that was the game at the Pond in Anaheim.
2-point win for the Knicks. Manning took 32 shots in that game.
Manning's pass thrown away.
This is an excruciating game for both coaches in that the play has been so inefficient, so low level for teams that are really have had excellent seasons when you look at the entire year.
Hopper for three. 4 minutes gone by in the third.
Great boxing out by the Hawks. No Knick offensive rebounders could strike.
Altman rejected by Ewing. That's the third block for Patrick Ewing. And Oakley hitting the floor. Took a push from Kevin Willis. That's the first committed by Willis.
That last attempt by Augman, who can get up, and you can see how high he is, but not high enough to get that shot over Patrick Ewing. Patrick now with 3 blocks in the game.
Nice pass from Oakley. Bonner gives it back out. And Augman lost the dribble off his knee, then able to recover. Augman pulling up. Knicks wanted to travel. And a foul is called on Ewing. Ewing argues the call with the official Nolan 5. That's his third foul.
If a player gets all ball, that's generally the reaction that Patrick Ewing is showing right now. He felt he got all ball on that play. One of those fouls that looks so much like a foul, it'll get called.
Blaylock hand check by one of the best in that department, Derek Hopper.
That's a great matchup, those two.
Augman going behind the back, then pops it back out. Blaylock fires one from 3-point range with the shot clock running down. And a nice play by Augman to keep it alive.
Ewing fighting Willis for position.
Augman, Willis. That shot by Augman ended up as a pass to Willis. And a foul called on the Knicks. Foul on Hopper. We'll be back in a moment.
I finally
.6:31 remaining in the third quarter. Marv Albert with John Andres, Al Troutwood, Walt Clyde Frazier, and the Hawks with a 47-46 lead on the Knicks. Following tonight, the Knicks home for Philly on Thursday, Friday at Milwaukee, Sunday in Chicago. Kevin Willis to the foul line. He's 2 of 2 from the line. He and Manning, the high men for Atlanta, with 12. Patrick Ewing with 17 to lead the Knicks. Charles Oakley has 14. It has been a poor shooting ball game. Both teams at 35%. The Knicks have hit 17 of 49, and the Hawks 18 of 51.
Well, Willis in his 9th year now, enjoying his best year. 3rd leading rebounder in the league. Only Rodman and Shaquille are ahead of him, and also averaging 19 points a game.
Hopper. Well, Derek Hopper has tied it at 48. That's only the 2nd field goal for Hopper. The Knicks backcourt has not done it offensively. Augman playing the lead. Will it count? Yes, it does. What a shot by Stacey Augman.
What a reaction from Pat Riley, who clearly feels that shot was after the whistle. The lead pass has really worked in mismatches for the Hawks tonight. How about Augman on that shot? Amazing. Another look at it now. Lead pass. The help is arriving, but it's coming too late for the Knicks throughout this game. Augman makes an unbelievable shot.
Foul on Davis. That is his fourth. Hawks lead 51-48. Just under 6 minutes to go. Third quarter. Ewing drawing the attention. Here's Hopper. That was a three-point attempt.
Offensive rebounds are few and far between for the Knicks tonight.
We have gone more than halfway through the third quarter, and someone finally got past the 50-point mark. Bonner with the steal. Bonner all the way. So it's the Hawks 51, the Knicks 50.
That's a major contribution from Anthony Bonner. That's what he does best. Defense.
Willis. Ewing rebounds. Davis able to protect against Blaylock. And a foul on Manning. That's his third.
That's the pressure that Harper created by heading for that basket.
Orlando Blackman replacing Hubert Davis. Hubert only 1 of 7. 4 fouls. Blackman 0 for 4 in the first half. Oakley for Bonner. And it backfires.
Gauls is throwing the impossible to catch passes tonight inside the foul line.
Blaylock calling out a play. This play was a backdoor from Manning, but it was well covered by Bonner. Blaylock for 3. And Bonner with the rebound. Coming up on 4 minutes to go in the third. Knicks with the ball trailing by 1. Ewing with 5 on the shot clock. Ewing will go to the line.
I believe Ewing went between the legs as he set up that move, dribbling the basketball.
Foul committed by contact. That's Enos Watley coming on for Mookie Blaylock.
One of the dangers that Lenny Wilkens, second winningest coach of all time, he's 14 away from Red Auerbach, by the way, be the all-time winningest coach in NBA history. But one of the dangers is the playing of Mookie Blaylock, who, as I said earlier, has become the heart and soul of this team because of his all-around play. Blaylock's been playing 36 minutes a game. The feeling in Atlanta is he may be wearing down, and it's quite a drop-off when he leaves the game in efficiency for the Hawks.
Mookie only 2 of 9 from the field. Knicks lead 52-51, and a foul on Hopper. Knicks over the limit. Atlanta with 4 team fouls.
Hopper trying to talk Ed Rush out of the foul.
You see an official saying, you know, Derek, you're right. Let's change the call.
Right.
And they walk back to the other end.
I think that would set a bad precedent for us.
Derek has thought it over. All right, Enos Watley getting his first of 2. He's a 77% free throw shooter. Enos last season played in Israel, averaging 19 a game. I mentioned earlier he has made the tour in the NBA. 7 different ball clubs in 7 NBA seasons. Hawks lead by 1. Atlanta with 11 assists, 11 turnovers, and the Knicks 12 assists and 13 turnovers.
Well, most coaches like to see 4 assists to 1 turnover as a formula. It's not working tonight.
Ewing, foul. Hawks have gone to the double team effectively on Patrick Ewing. Andrew Lang picks up his first.
Ewing going to the line now for the 13th foul shot attempt of the evening. He's made 10 of 12 thus far. There could be a correction on that, Marv. I misread that. That's 7 of 10, Patrick, for tonight. He has 12 rebounds in the game.
Game tied at 53. So Ewing has 20 points.
Point out again that the Hawks are playing their 4th game in 5 nights.
They will have a day off tomorrow, then resume Thursday in Miami, and a rapid Saturday at the Omni against Orlando. That pass thrown by Watley took off. He's making the claim that it was deflected out by the Knicks. But it will be Knick ball. Game tied at 53 with 3.5 to go, 3rd quarter. Hopper. That was knocked out by the Hawks.
Credit the Hawks defense. Hopper had good momentum going to the basket. He saw a hole, and all of a sudden it closed.
Greg Elo replacing Stacey Augmon. Stacey, 10 points, 5 rebounds. Blackman got a good look. And for Orlando, his first field goal to give the Knicks a 2-point lead.
Nice set play. Blackman was to the right of the foul line and took off to the left corner and got that ball. He knew where to go, and his teammates knew he was coming.
The Hawks take a timeout with 3 minutes and 9 seconds to go in the 3rd.
This is an Eagle Vision ESI.
.53, just under 3 minutes remaining in the 3rd. Shot clock was down to 2, and Elo able to hit. He wanted a 3, but his foot was on the line. The scoreboard reads Hawks by 1, which is not correct. Should be tied at 50. Now they made the change. Here's Oakley, fouled by Elo. They have made the correction. Game is tied at 55. Foul on Elo, his first. And Oakley will go to the line. Both teams now over the limit.
Let's see how well the Hawks, under this man's guidance and leadership, Lenny Wilkins, are playing defense. The Knicks moving the ball very well at that point, but it was still difficult to get an open shot. The amazing thing about Atlanta under Lenny Wilkins, their field goal percentage defense is now ranked 9th in the NBA. Last year, they were 26th in the NBA. The opponents of the Atlanta Hawks this year shoot a little over 45%. That's the improvement that Lenny Wilkins has brought to this team. Field goal percentage defense.
Knicks 57 of the Hawks 55. Andrew Lang getting down low. And Manning able to follow the tie of the game at 57. Lenny Wilkins upset. He wanted a goaltend.
Meanwhile, the Knicks had 3 rebounders in position, and Danny Manning beat them all.
So the Knicks and the Hawks are tied at 57. Watley got involved with Oakley and a foul call. Well, Kevin Willis called for the foul. Charles Smith checking back in.
Well, the defense of the Hawks has had an impact tonight. You look at the last season, the points allowed 108 this year, 96. And the field goal percentage defense we're talking about from 26th to 9th. And of course, they're also number 2 in steals in the NBA, led by Mookie Blaylock. Only the Seattle Supersonics are ahead of them.
Oakley is 5 of 5 from the line, and the Knicks now lead by 1.
Blaylock, as a matter of fact, is the only NBA player to have 200 steals or more for 2 successive years now.
2-point Knick lead. As you can see, neither club shooting well. We're just under 2 minutes remaining in the third.
It's a big challenge for the Hawks now to live without Blaylock on the floor and to succeed.
Enos Watley getting much playing time. Manning working hard against Smith. Manning able to retrieve. Foul committed by Hopper, which means 2 shots for Watley. Enos Watley, 2 of 2 from the line. So the Knick lead is now 1. Last night the Hawks came back from 22 down, got back into it, but the Bulls able to pull away and win by 17. The Bulls bouncing back from that Sunday night loss in Orlando. Chicago had won 10 in a row prior to the defeat against the Orlando Magic.
The game in Chicago was amazing in that the high score of the game was 16 points. Danny Manning, the Bulls high score at 14.
Knicks and Hawks tied at 59. That missed shot by Charles Smith receiving the reaction. Willis, played by Oakley, now draws the double team. Shot clock at 3. Manning fires it short. Hopper lost it. Manning for Elo. And back come the Knicks. Oh, Elo almost knocked it away. Pat Riley upset. He felt there should have been a foul on Elo making the contact with Smith.
Meanwhile, Ewing in the backcourt tying his sneakers. This is a crazy game.
Shot clock at 10. Now 20 seconds to go. Third quarter. Ewing set the pick. Ewing with the shot clock running down. Final seconds of the third. Knicks and Hawks tied at 59. Willis for 3 at the buzzer. Kevin Willis with only his 8th three-pointer of the season. 8 for 22 from downtown, and the Hawks after 3 lead by 3.
On April 22nd. NBA.
We're in the front row back here at the Garden with Ed Kranepool. Why is he here? Well, it's Bronx night, and Ed was from the Bronx. What's your best Bronx memory?
Well, I guess it was the Yankees back in the early years. Growing up in the Bronx, I was a Yankee fan in many, many championships. And, of course, my favorite player back in those days was really Mickey Mantle. So that's how ultimately I wore number 7.
Ed, in your days with the Mets, did you ever have a big game where nothing went right like the Knicks are having? And if you did, what did you do to get out of it?
You just prayed, I guess. We had a lot of nights like that. You know, with the Mets, the first 7 years, when you lose 100 games, a lot of nights you look like this.
And it's great to see you again.
Thank you very much.
All right, Marv, it's the big 25th anniversary of their World Championship. Back to you.
All right, Al, the fourth quarter is underway. Oakley on the follow, draws the foul. The Hawks 62 and the Knicks 59, and Charles Oakley heads to the line. Fixing Ed Kranepool out of James Monroe High School in the Bronx, and on to the Mets at 12 years of age, John. It was just unbelievable.
I remember that. Always nice to see Ed Kranepool. Big hoops fan, too. He comes to the Knick games quite often.
An assignment for one of the ball boys. A critical assignment here. I think he's getting on Adam Keefe's nerves, John. Get that idea? A little exposure. Always nice to see the ball boys at work. As Oakley goes to the line, Charles is 6 for 6 from the foul line.
Have to pay tribute, Marv, to Kevin Willis. 4th game in 5 nights, and he's been on the court, it seems, the whole evening for the Atlanta Hawks. And going strong. The guy's in such condition. A 7-foot man with tons of strength.
16 points, 12 rebounds for Willis. The Hawks by 1. Enos Watley remaining at the point guard. He's played well, spelling Mookie Blaylock. Watley and Elo at the guards with Lang, Willis, and Keith up front. Elo called for the offensive foul, a push on Blackman.
Well, Paul Mahalich, the official, was working hard to get the right angle on that call, and boy, when he got to the position he wanted, he caught the right elbow pushing off Orlando. He was in perfect position for that call.
Greg Anthony fouled by Enos Watley. The basket will not count. The Knicks now with Anthony and Blackman at the guards. Herb Williams has come on for Patrick Ewing. It's Williams with Smith and Oakley. Anthony. Greg Anthony with a beautiful move, and he's unhappy. He felt he was fouled. Knicks by 1. Minute gone by. 4th quarter. Willis played by Williams. Illegal defense against the Knicks for the 2nd time, so the Hawks awarded a technical foul. And Kevin Willis to the line, a 71% free throw shooter.
As difficult as this game has been as far as basketball execution, Marv, it still has such incredible importance to the rest of the Knicks season, particularly when you look at their next 2 opponents, Philadelphia and Milwaukee. I mean, it can spring them into a very positive frame of mind.
Well, the Knicks picking it up a bit in the backcourt. Got off to the horrendous start. Now 6 of 23 shooting. Blackman with the steal and worked his way out of trouble. Anthony. Well, Greg Anthony providing a lift, and the Knicks lead 65-63.
I think Greg owns the point guard position the rest of the way. Anybody who can put the ball in 2 in a row like that is going to get a lot of time from Pat Riley.
Here's Willis. Herb Williams able to hustle it down.
It's amazing how a 2-point lead is big in this game. It's like a college game in that regard.
Anthony played by Elo and fouled. And things picking up here in the 4th quarter. Greg Anthony trying to get the crowd going.
And he succeeded. Patrick Ewing at the Knicks bench waving the towel, standing up also. That's uncharacteristic of Patrick, isn't it?
Well, the game has been deadly to this point. The crowd has not been in it, understandably, because it has not been exciting basketball, but now they have been lifted. 2 minutes gone by in the 4th. Knicks lead by 2. Williams rebounded by Manning. Mookie Blaylock is back.
Well, he's carrying that ball too, and with that high dribble.
But a foul away from the ball called on Blackman. That's his 4th. John Starks changing his seat on the bench, John.
Everybody gets very superstitious.
Blaylock, yes, very close to a carry. The steal by Anthony. Anthony, yes, and it counts.
Greg Anthony has just made, Marv, what is perhaps his biggest basket as a Knick.
Let's talk smart.
Huge basket. Greg Anthony has never heard such crowd support as he had after that basket and steal, his second of the game.
An 8-1 run by the Knicks, and they are now up by 4 with 9:26 to go in the fourth quarter. Greg Anthony looking to complete the three-point play. Anthony with 10 points. The Knicks lead 68-63. The Hawks with 3 turnovers here in the fourth, and it has cost them. Fan of defense from the crowd.
Pat Riley playing Ewing and Herb Williams together again as Blaylock hits a very important basket for the Hawks.
A three-pointer for Mookie Blaylock, who has not had the touch. And the Knicks lead is now 2. 3 minutes in, fourth quarter. Blackman played by Elo. Ewing. Patrick Ewing, way off. Handled by Manning.
Very big front line for the Knicks now with Charles Smith, 6'10", to go with the 7-foot Ewing and the 6'11". Herb Williams.
What a play by Anthony. Greg Anthony with the steal. Blackman, but away from the ball, the foul on Ewing. Try to set a screen and make contact with Elo for Ewing, his fourth.
Something to see the 7-footer on the floor and he committing the foul, but the official felt he moved into the defensive man when he set the pick.
Knicks with a 2-point lead as Blaylock sets up against Anthony. Manning puts the move on Smith, and Williams rebounds. Well, the Knicks staying with the combination of Ewing and Williams. Time to time, Pat Riley will go with that look. We have seen very little of Anthony Mason, who did not play well in the first half. Bad pass delivered by Anthony.
The Hawks are facing history now. The last time they played the Knicks, they died in the fourth quarter after that game in Chicago the prior night, just as last night, 30-17. They're losing now in the fourth quarter, 9-4, make it 9-6.
Elo has tied the game at 68. Anthony using the pick. That was a three-point attempt. Blaylock with some daylight. Gives it back to Elo. That's a three. Greg Elo from downtown. So the Hawks have come roaring back. Knicks built a 5-point lead, but Atlanta now up 71-68. Timeout called by the Knicks. A 22nd timeout. An 8-0 run for the Hawks, who now lead 71-68.
Well, the Hawks getting a big lift from Craig Elo, who, as we mentioned earlier, has been struggling because of a back problem with his three-point shooting. But Blaylock and Elo have done it. Let's take a look at some AT&T long-distance shooting stats. Mookie Blaylock handling that ball, backing up. Craig Elo with time, despite Ewing running at him. It's that very big shot, making this a 3-point lead. Boy, you got to give the Hawks credit. They're tired. They have to be tired. Fourth game in 5 nights, but they are tough.
Hawks have hit 3 of 8 from 3-point land. Knicks 2 of 13. Ewing went down in a battle with Lang. Here's the double team. Shot clock at 7. Ewing is open. Yes, he was 1 for his previous 8. So the Knicks are down by 1. 22 points for Patrick Ewing. Charles 73 and the Knicks 70.
Charles Smith let him get away back door.
6:20 remaining in the fourth. Ewing. And back comes Elo. Manning being guarded by Ewing. Lang. Andrew Lang line drives it home. Andrew Lang with 6 points. It's Atlanta 75, the Knicks 70. Hubert Davis will come on in a moment. Ewing way off. And the Hawks to the board.
Great help. 12-2 run now for the Hawks. Great help by the Hawks, challenging Ewing without committing the foul. 2 people up on him, taking the vision away.
Here's Lang. And a foul is called. Loose ball foul on Manning. For Manning, it is his 4th. Hubert Davis replacing Rolando Blackman. Rolando 4 of 7 for 10 points. Davis only 1 for 7 from the field. And Charles Smith to the line with the Hawks over the limit. Smith 1 of 2 from the line.
Well, that was a very good box out by Charles Smith, who's getting a substantial amount of playing time here in the second half. Charles played 6 minutes in the first half, 3 points, 3 rebounds.
Charles hearing it from the crowd now, 0 for 3 from the line.
Charles has played 15 minutes tonight so far, 1 for 7 from the field, 5 rebounds.
That was interesting, the crowd psychology, not trying to encourage Charles after the booing, and Charles will hear the boos again. 0 for 4 from the line. That was deflected out, and apparently they're calling it a jump ball. Anthony Mason has not played in the second half. Has not played since 6:38 remained in the second quarter. Did not play particularly well in the first half, and did not play well against Charlotte on Sunday.
Only had a couple of rebounds in over 30 minutes Sunday against Charlotte.
They'll jump again. 5 minutes, 14 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. The Hawks now lead by 5. Laylock stepped out as he tried to save it. So it will be Nick Ball. The Knicks well aware if they can win their final 4 of the regular season, no matter what happens, they'll finish first. That would include wins over Atlanta tonight and then Chicago and Chicago on Sunday. Philly and Milwaukee coming up Thursday and Friday. Smith wide open. Hawks 75. The Knicks 72. Laylock and Elo in the backcourt. Manning, Lang, and Willis up front. There's Willis. Oh, he loves the jump hook, and he has been hitting it. Willis with 19, and the Hawks lead by 5.
Well, you do a flashback a couple of years ago. People thought that Kevin Willis was dead wood for the Atlanta Hawks. Well, they stayed with him, and he's grown big time.
Here is Ewing, blocked by Lang. And Patrick Ewing 2 for his last 12 from the field. We approach 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Victory for the Hawks would put them a game and a half in front of the Knicks. Laylock. That was a beautiful handoff from Willis, but Laylock could not finish it. Here's Anthony for Oakley. Charles Oakley is fouled by Danny Manning. Normally you do not like to see Oakley put the ball on the floor, drive to the basket, but he picked up the foul call.
He didn't try and do something like make a crazy pass either, as he often does. He took the ball to the basket, and that's something that Charles should do more of instead of looking to do other things with it with his size.
Number 5 on Manning. Oakley 8 for 8 at the line. 21 points for Charles Oakley.
I got you down pat now, Charlie.
Hawks lead by 4.
Danny Manning very much in the media brigade. After that foul was called, walked over and picked up a monitor at courtside to look and check the replay to see if the call was correct.
Well, the Hawks have a 4-point lead with 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the fourth. Elo with the step. And Willis able to put it in. Knicks take an immediate timeout. And they're hearing the boos. 3:31 remaining in the fourth. 4 for 14.
I see that. Yes, the eye chart's quite a distance from me. 4 for 14 for Blaylock, but awfully big shooting for him. And a most frustrated Knicks coach has tried it at all, and it just hasn't worked tonight.
But that will give you an edge. You go in, and you know it's right at the top. You got that Big E going for you right at the start. Hawks 83 and the Knicks 76. A minute to go in the fourth. Orlando Blackman is back on the floor. Anthony looking for the three, and he's fouled, hit by Blaylock. So Greg Anthony will go to the line. That's number 4, committed by Blaylock. Anthony is 1 for 1 at the foul line. Knicks are only 2 of 15 from downtown. Manning is back. Manning up front now with Lang and Willis. Hawks lead 83-77.
Seems that the adjustment in Pat Riley's coaching tonight, Marv, put Charles Smith on the floor for a lot of the second half. Bonner hasn't played that much tonight, nor has, as we pointed out, Anthony Mason.
Knicks now pressing. Out of 40 seconds. That's an up and down. Or a foul, let's see. Oh, foul is called. Foul on Davis. Have a look at this one.
Kevin Willis protecting that ball. Hubert Davis combining with Ewing to try and trap the 7-foot Willis, who remained above the crowd.
That was the one foul to give. The next foul by the Knicks puts them over the limit. 39 seconds remaining. Knicks down by 5. Elo gets it in for Blaylock. Rejected by Ewing. It will be Atlanta ball with 22 on the shot clock. If the Hawks hold on and win, there'll be a game and a half in front of the Knicks and a full game over Chicago. And that foul will put Augment at the line.
Well, Pat Riley has gone with his normally better shooting three-point men, now with Blackman out there with Hubert Davis. It hasn't happened from the field tonight, however, for the Knicks. And of course, after this one, Marv, the call will go out even louder for the return of John Starks.
Stacey Augment was fouled by his backcourt partner at the UNLV, Greg Anthony. Hawks now lead 84-78. Timeout called by the Knicks. 28 and 9/10 seconds remaining in the fourth.
Yo, I got flavor. Let's go, baby, swing it. Yo. See me with the rock. Kick the rock. Hit me up. Yo.
Just a reminder, If you're talking basketball, Foot Locker speaks your language.
At the top, come on, meet me at the top.
Well, most of it. Foot Locker, official corporate partner for the NCAA championships.
The house is this room, brick and mortar.
A couple of questions in my mind, John, if the Hawks hold on and win. Once again, a game of significance here at the Garden, and the Knicks not able to beat the quality ball club where all is on the line. And number two, coming off the strong statements made by Pat Riley following the poor performance against Charlotte on Sunday. Where does Pat go in terms of his analysis of what took place here tonight? We'll have the Pat Riley news conference coming up during the course of our post-game coverage, and you have to wonder how he will assess this one.
I'm sure he'll praise the defense of the Hawks, forcing the Knicks into 36% field goal percentage. As a defensive coach, he will respect that, and I'm sure it'll begin there, Marv. The effort has been there for the Knicks, but the execution has been extremely poor.
Anthony Blackman with a three-pointer. Well, the Knicks are still alive. They're down by 3 with 19 seconds remaining. Hawks 84 and the Knicks 81. The Knicks are now over the limit. Ewing called for the foul, his 6th, so he is fouled out. Rolando Blackman hitting the clutch three-pointer.
Well, Rolando with a very big shot. He was going in for the 2, then gave it up so he could reset himself, and Greg Anthony recognized that and got him the ball.
Ewing departing with 24 points. 8 of 20 from the field, 15 rebounds, 4 blocks. Here's Blaylock on the line for the first time. Mookie, a 73% foul shooter. Enos Watley now checks in for Kevin Willis. Hawks lead 85-81. 18 and 8/10 seconds to go in the fourth. Mookie Blaylock connecting on 2 of 2. 86-81 Hawks. Knicks need a quick shot. Anthony for 3. He's got it! Greg Anthony hits the 3. It's a 2-point Atlanta lead, and the foul is given by Anthony, sending Augman to the line. So Anthony again hits from downtown. Augman is a 76% foul shooter, 3 of 4 from the line.
Well, Anthony has had a lot of time to shoot that ball tonight, and he's gotten in a groove, as you can see. With the big shot, the Knicks with the immediate foul, sending Augman into a dramatic position for the Hawks.
Now the Knicks do not have any timeouts remaining. That's the important one. Stacey Augman extends to a 3-point lead. 9 and 1/10 seconds to go in the fourth. No timeouts left for the Knicks. Smith with the rebound. 3-point Hawk lead. Knicks need 3 to tie. Here's Anthony. He's been hitting the 3. He attempts it. The 3 is in and out, and that'll do it. The Atlanta Hawks hold on and defeat the New York Knicks 87-84. The Knicks with a chance to tie the game, and Greg Anthony, for the second time tonight, saw the shot from downtown rim the basket.
He got a little consolation from his UNLV teammate Stacey Augman as he left the floor, but Anthony had a very positive effect on the Knicks tonight. He will not be remembered for that missed shot, that's for sure. Greg working hard to get the 3-point shot up, which he did, and he almost brought this thing into a tie, and a remarkable finish for the Knicks.
But the Hawks win it 87-84. Huge victory for Atlanta, in particular coming off the bad performance last night against the Chicago Bulls. The Knicks have now dropped 6 of their last 9. They are now 54-25. They are a game and a half behind the leaders of the Eastern Conference, the Atlanta Hawks. And the Chicago Bulls, not scheduled tonight, 1 game back in second place. The Bulls pick it up Friday at home against Boston, and then Sunday afternoon, they'll face the New York Knicks in Chicago. We'll be back with our post-game, including the Pat Riley news conference in a moment. Hawks 87, the Knicks 84. We'll be back in a moment.
Back in a moment.
The sidelines, like.
Well, you know, I think you got to be in the game with them. I was in the game with them, you know, right from the start. Our guys were in the game. They were in a fracas, and Atlanta's a hell of a basketball team. They took a tough loss last night. You know, we got off to a good start. They came back quickly, and it was just that kind of game. You know, and it came down to 4 or 5 possessions, really. You know, big plays.
Is this game ominous at all?
Is it ominous?
Yeah.
No, it's not. You got to look at it and look forward. I mean, we would like to have all of the edges that you get with the position of being first in the conference. And I don't give a damn who the hell we play in the playoffs. That's not what this is about. We're not jockeying to play somebody here or somebody there. We want to make sure that we have at least the first 2 series with the home court, and then you have to, you know, play with the, with whatever is set on the table, you know.
Are you convinced that the offense will come after a game like this?
The offense has been in and out all year. It was we win with defense. You know, we won. We had a great run when we were averaging 103 points a game and shooting close to 50%, and for about 15 games. So the offense looked like it was coming. Right now, it's not. You know, we had, I thought, very good shots for the most part with our 2s tonight. You know, we keep getting those shots for Rowe and for Hubert. They'll make them, I think, at the appropriate time.
How about this game now, this the rest of the week? You know, you got these 2 games, and you got the Bulls. And that could be a huge, even if it doesn't mean anything, a big psyche game, losing the Hawks and the Bulls in the same week, last week, regular season. Is that now you're putting this game as a huge game coming up on Sunday or not?
Philly. Milwaukee, okay? And, you know, we found out going down to Philadelphia, you know, a couple of weeks ago that we weren't ready to play that game. So, no, psychologically, if you end up playing the Hawks or playing Chicago somewhere in the playoffs, I don't think what happens now is going to be anything but temporary. You know, not if we're right as a team.
You mentioned the effort came back tonight, but if you could put your finger on one thing, like after the 15-game winning streak that's gotten things going other way, what would it be?
The overall lack of intensity was missing for about 10 days. You know, I mean, it just wasn't there. It was not. I mean, the way that Charles Oakley played tonight and the effort that Patrick made, I know that we can win games when we're good, and I know sometimes when we're not good, we can win games because we play hard. If we ever can put both of those things together, sometimes we're virtually impossible to beat. And tonight we played very, very hard, and we were right there, but we did not play well. You know, we just didn't. We missed free throws, we missed layups, we had opportunities, and we did not take advantage of them. So, you know, those things I hope will come. I mean, we had some great looks, layups and jumpers and, you know, free throws and opportunities to keep it right there where you had a chance at the end not to make a miracle out of the game. And their 2 threes and their 3-second shots really are what hurt us going down the stretch.
Pat, I'm using Charles Smith in the situation we used him. Do you have an evaluation yet of the way I mean,
we simply have to find out. You know, we have to find out because, you know, it has been very, very frustrating for Charles. And it's been very frustrating for, you know, me as a coach because, you know, at this time of the year, we have to simply find out, you know, just where and how he's going to slot in. And we've always had big plans for him, and I still do. But he has been, you know, really scarred, you know, with this injury. And it has not allowed him to be 100%, but I thought he played hard and tried. I have never been around ever. And, you know, I mean, maybe the fans in New York or whatever, you know, want to revel in it, but I have never, ever been around a situation like this, you know, where, you know, a player has been so maligned because he's hurt. I don't care what anybody says. You know, I believe in him. I believe he can do the job for us, and we simply have to find out before the playoffs start. So I'm not going to wait till then to find out, and that's my decision. So you know, he's a great guy. People don't know him. You know, sometimes you know, there are guys in this league that are jerks as players, and maybe deserve that. Guy's a great guy. He doesn't deserve it. And it sure as hell doesn't help him and doesn't help us, you know, when they're out there booing him when he's at the free throw line. So, I mean, that to me is just human nature on the part of people who care about him.
When he got the offensive rebound from behind.
It's like up and down, you know. I mean, you know, let's be consistent with it, you know, one way or the other. But anyhow, that's, you know, that's the decision that I made tonight going into the game.
Okay. We'll be there.
And the coaches conference tonight brought to you by the New York Times. Pat Riley with a lot on his mind. He praised the effort, and he finally spoke out again against the fans booing Charles Smith. But they rallied around the chorus. They cheered him before this game was over. Back in a moment.
Here's to you.
Important moment in the fourth quarter. Knicks needing a hero. Patrick Ewing off the missed free throw slammed it in. The Garden roared. Knicks within 3 with 3 minutes to go. But then the rally died. It came alive again in the final seconds, but when it was over, it was the Atlanta Hawks 87, the Knicks 84. Due to the length of Pat Riley's press conference, we're unable to check in with Curtis Bunn tonight, but we'll do it on Thursday when the Knicks take on the Philadelphia 76ers, the final regular season home game. Game night begins our coverage at 7. Can't join us on MSG? Listen to it on The Fan. Coming up next, live from the play-by-play, Mike Francesa and Jennifer Smith. To talk to Jimmy Breslin, Bob Costas, Australian actress Effie, and R&B group 7669. It was a night of frustration for the New York Knicks. They tried, but nothing worked.